Hello, I'm Bernadette Wagner, Community Outreach Coordinator for Hospice of Washington County, and I'm pleased to welcome you to today's special episode of Healing, Hope, and Health. For the first time since this show began, all of our featured guests are community members that, out of a desire to give back to the community, have volunteered to lead programs at one or more of our community life centers. It is my pleasure to introduce our first guest, Cherie Ware, RN. Cherie, who has been a nurse for 12 years, received her RN degree from Hagerstown Community College. She's worked as an ICU nurse for 8 years, including 1.5 years at Duke University. She is currently employed by Meredith Care Management and is based at Ravenwood Nursing Home. Almost a year ago, Cherie began Chuck's Heart to Heart, a small business dedicated to health education, specifically teaching CPR and first aid classes to community groups. Cherie joins us today to talk about the upcoming programs she will be offering at the Hagerstown and Boonesboro Community Life Centers. Welcome, Cherie. I'm so glad you can be here today.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. So before we get talking about the programs that you're going to be leading, can you first tell us a little bit about Chuck's Heart to Heart and your motivation for starting that?
Yes, Chuck's Heart to Heart is a company that I started about a year ago, like you said, in honor of my father, who...
Name Chuck, I guess?
Charles.
Oh, Charles, okay.
Harris. At the age of 72, February 7th, 2015, he had just finished taking some friends around, running some errands, when all of a sudden he went unresponsive. Unfortunately, the people who he was with did not know what to do. There was a delay in care, and by the time the ambulance arrived to help him, it was about 10 to 12 minutes. Mm-hmm. Of course, all his friends were devastated because they didn't recognize the seriousness that was going on. And so about a month later, I had a friend who was driving her uncle to work, and he went unresponsive. Mm-hmm. And she had to pull over and perform CPR as well. Afterwards, she was questioning whether or not what she did was correct. So at the time, I realized there was a huge need for...
Knowledge gap?
Yes,
yeah.
For education in that area. So I looked into becoming certified and took classes through American Heart Association and taught my first class in February of 2016.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for recognizing a need in our community and looking to address it. I appreciate that. So you're going to be conducting 2 programs, one at the Hagerstown Life Center, actually 2 at the Hagerstown Life Center and 1 at the Boonesboro Life Center during February in honor of your dad. Can you tell us about these classes and what information is covered?
Yes, those classes are going to be healthcare provider courses. That's the top level of basic life support or CPR training that one can receive. And topics covered will be 1- and 2-person rescue or CPR for infant, children, and adults. We'll have an AED, so participants will have some experience working with that. And we'll also teach some choking relief, how to help a person who is choking.
Like the Heimlich maneuver or something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So these CPR and AED classes, typically, I at least know through the American Red Cross, cost $74. And you're going to offer these classes at no cost. I mean, tell us about your motivation for that.
Well, I realized that with teaching these classes, that folks are really interested in learning. Mm-hmm. They really want to know. They are in tune during the classes. And there are some cost issues, so I decided to come down because my goal and passion is to teach as many people who are willing to learn mm-hmm. how to administer CPR and analyze threatening situation. So I have, in honor of my father, in February decided to do several free classes, and throughout the year I will be doing more.
And February is National Heart Month, and it's also the month that you lost your dad.
Yes.
So that's a nice synergy there. I really am excited to be able to tell our community members that this is a resource that's available to them due to your generosity. So I'm really grateful for that. What dates are you holding these classes and at what time?
So at the Hagerstown Life Center, down on East Washington Street.
West Washington Street.
Sorry, West Washington Street. We will be there on February the 11th
Okay.
2 classes from 10 to 2, and another class
From
2 to 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's a Saturday. And I remember you telling me that you had a desire to maybe provide this class on a Saturday so that you could really reach those high school kids who might be able to take advantage of it.
Yes, I would like to be able to reach kids in the upper teenage range. So we decided to do a class on a Saturday for them.
Mm-hmm. But adults could also take it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
And I know that you said that children, young children, maybe under 15, was your cutoff, because they have to be big enough and strong enough to actually do the physical. Is that correct?
Correct. Yeah. They have to be able to pass the skills. So older teenagers will probably be best.
And when are you offering it in Boonesboro?
February the 9th.
Okay, perfect.
From 4 to 8.
So if people are interested in registering, they can call me at Hospice of Washington County. And I was wondering, do you also teach CPR classes throughout the year? And if so, how can somebody contact you?
Yes, since I began in February, I've taught multiple classes throughout the community. A couple different community centers have been very supportive at offering their facilities for me to teach these classes. And I've also gone to a couple businesses and taught some employees. I can be reached by cell phone. My number is 301-991-2875, or by email, Chuck's Heart to Heart, that's HEART, and the number 2, heart, @gmail.com. I'm also on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, Chuck's Heart to Heart CPR and First Aid. So
great. Well, thank you so much for being here, Cherie.
Thank you for having me.
I'd like to thank Cherie for being here today and for her willingness to educate Washington County residents about CPR, an important life-saving technique. According to national statistics, heart disease is the leading cause of death for men and women in the United States. Every year, 1 in 4 deaths are caused by heart disease. Thanks to Cherie, many more people will be prepared to save a life in the case of a cardiac event. You too can do your part. Find out ways during National Heart Month how you can get involved. We'll be right back after this message.
I'm the hometown favorite.
I'll outsmart you.
I will beat you.
I'll be surrounded by fans cheering me on.
There's no place like home for fighting cancer.
My turf.
My time.
My team.
Expert care, close to home. The John R. Marsh Cancer Center at Meritus Health.
It's here. It's breathtaking. It's ultra fast. Gigabit internet. Fiber to your home. Fiber to your business. Antietam Cable, making Hagerstown a gigabit city.
Living with a chronic disease is a daunting situation, but with help from LifeCare of Washington County, you don't have to feel overwhelmed. With our palliative care team, we can help you manage symptoms and the weight of illness. LifeCare of Washington County is there by your side, maximizing treatment options, increasing the quality of life, and partnering with you as you face the challenges ahead. LifeCare of Washington County, we're with you. You don't have to struggle alone. Call today for a private consultation.
I've been working with Linda McCullum now for 20 years. The people in the office are very knowledgeable of what they do, and they're also very caring and customer-oriented. My little granddaughter, when she says, "Pappy, I love you," that's just so precious. If I wouldn't have had the hearing aid on, I wouldn't have heard it.
Let McCollum Hearing Center help you rediscover the sounds of your life.
Welcome back. I'm glad you're still with us as our next guest promises to be both interesting and informative. It's my pleasure to introduce Marie Hawes, a board-certified hypnotist. Marie, who studied at the Omni Hypnosis Training Center in Washington, D.C., is now certified with several accrediting organizations, including the National Guild of Hypnotists. In addition to her private practice, which she recently opened, Marie is committed to educating the general public about hypnosis and its many benefits. She joins us today to talk about the Community Life Center program she will be leading in the new year. Welcome, Marie. Thanks for joining us on Healing, Hope, and Health.
And thank you for having me here today, Bernadette.
Sure. So I know you've been involved in healthcare for 35 years, but what was the impetus behind your decision to study and practice hypnosis?
Well, my own personal health issues were kind of getting out of control, and which I wound up actually being in the hospital for several days. So I wanted to be able to do something more for myself where I would be more in control. And I started to research into different modalities and came across hypnosis and did further research into that. And then I found an excellent hypnotist who I worked with, and which afterwards I had amazing results. And I wanted to be able to do that for other people as well. And that's when I decided to study and open my own practice.
Okay, so how long did you actually see a hypnotist and how long before you realized health benefits?
For each person, it's different. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. For myself, I would say that was approximately 4 or 5 sessions.
Okay.
Each session maybe lasted an hour. So that's what it took for me to be able to notice I noticed small changes along the way.
Right.
But it took that long to be able to actually notice the total benefit that I received from that.
Great. And what does the research and science say about the effectiveness of hypnosis to improve both physical and emotional health and well-being?
There's been a lot of research with many different institutions and organizations such as the National Institutes of Health, the American Society for Clinical Hypnosis, different universities such as Stanford University and more locally Penn State. And they all have done research within pain relief in particular, and also research within patients that are receiving chemotherapy or radiation and helping with those side effects. Also, they have done actual scans within the brain to see the actual areas of the brain that are affected during hypnosis. And there are many other things they have studied, such as smoking cessation, weight loss, fears and phobias.
And it's really been effective with those, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
Well, that's interesting. So you're going to be leading a program at the Hagerstown Community Life Center, which is located at 20 West Washington Street on the 3rd floor. What days and at what time will you be teaching those programs?
The first presentation will be on Wednesday, January 11th at 10 a.m. The second presentation will be on Wednesday, January 18th at 10 a.m.
1 week later.
Yes.
And what will you be covering in those presentations?
On the first presentation, I will be covering hypnosis as it pertains to wellness. And during that presentation, I will be doing an overview of hypnosis in general because there's such a large body of information. I just want to be able to explain what hypnosis is.
And maybe what hypnosis isn't. I mean, there's a lot of misconceptions about hypnosis.
Yes, there are. So I would also be teaching facts and myths, and also teaching about the area of the mind, the conscious part of the mind, the subconscious part of the mind, which is what, as a hypnotist, I work with, is the subconscious part of the mind.
Okay. Who would benefit from attending this? What kinds of issues would this be helpful for, or what kind of, would it be good for everybody?
This would be good for anyone that's interested in learning more about hypnosis. It would also be good for anyone who would like to make positive changes in their life or reach a goal, and they would like to do that on a more self-help basis, but they just need a little help with that because as a hypnotist, it's not something I can do to someone or for someone, but I work together with them as a team to get them through a process to where they need to be to reach that goal.
That sounds great. And so do individuals register for this class, and if so, how do they do that?
Yes, individuals interested can register with Hospice of Washington County Life Center.
Just call that number.
Just call that number.
301-791-6360.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here, Marie.
And thank you so much for having me here today.
I'd like to thank Marie for sharing her knowledge about hypnosis with the community and for her commitment to making a difference. Marie believes that through hypnosis, it's possible to find answers to chronic health concerns, and she's not alone. According to Scott D. Lewis, author of Hypnosis Treatment Options, Proven Solutions to Pain, Insomnia, Stress, Obesity, and Other Common Problems, quote, "The mind is powerful and you have more control than you think," end of quote. If you would like to learn about hypnosis and unlock the power of your mind and promote wellness, then I encourage you to join Marie at the Hagerstown Community Life Center on January 11th and 18th. Hope to see you there.
People don't realize it takes a lot to care for a family member in your home. John's dad was very headstrong, so I think that was a lot for him to get over and try to come to terms with that he had terminal illness. I would recommend to everybody to get hospice involved at the get-go. When you first learn about it, get it set up. It's going to make it, I mean, it's terrible what you're going through already, but it's going to make it easier for you in the long run because we couldn't have done it without them.
Call Hospice today. Hospice of Washington County, when time matters most.
Labor's Office Furniture now has a large selection of in-stock FlexSteel home furnishings. After 43 years of establishing itself as the place to find top-brand office furniture at warehouse prices, great deals on FlexSteel home furnishings have come home to Labor's. Stop in to see Labor's FlexSteel inventory today.
Living with a chronic disease is a daunting situation, but with help from LifeCare of Washington County, you don't have to feel overwhelmed. With our palliative care team, we can help you manage symptoms and the weight of illness. LifeCare of Washington County is there by your side, maximizing treatment options, increasing the quality of life, and partnering with you as you face the challenges ahead. LifeCare of Washington County, we're with you. You don't have to struggle alone. Call today for a private consultation.
From the smallest item of jewelry to the largest ceramic elephant, every 10,000 Villages handcrafted product makes a remarkable journey.
All over the world, our products travel similar paths, over thousands of miles and years of artistic tradition. Our handcrafted gifts represent work that builds villages and sustains souls. They are the dream of a better life made real. Every product is a miracle.
Welcome back to Healing, Hope, and Health. As Hospice of Washington County's Community Outreach Coordinator, I have the privilege of meeting and assisting the wonderful people who step forward to lead programs at our community life centers. Think about it. Hospice provides space at no cost to individuals, groups, and nonprofits who want to strengthen the community, people who want to share their talents, knowledge, and interests. Honestly, only really caring people, passionate people, volunteer their time at our programs. They want to make a difference. Today, it's my privilege to introduce one such volunteer, Michelle Clough. Michelle has led 3 sessions of Qigong for women at 2 different locations for the community members and the Hospice of Washington County staff. According to Michelle, Qigong is an energy-based Chinese movement practice that offers and supports balance to the body, mind, and spirit. She joins us today to talk a little bit about the practice of Qigong, but also what motivates her to get involved in the community life centers. Welcome and thanks for being here.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I'm very happy to be here.
Good. So tell us a little bit how you first got interested in Qigong.
So it was offered where I was working. I don't think I had ever even heard the word before, but a class was being offered. It sounded interesting, so I was like, well, sure, why not? I'll take that. I should mention, though, up until that point, I had been dealing with the effects of long-term Lyme disease, and I had been pretty sick for a couple of years. Nothing I had tried helped, and by the second meeting of that Qigong class, my Lyme symptoms were gone, and that was amazing to me, and that was it.
You were hooked.
I was hooked. That set me on the path.
I've read that Qigong can be described as the art and science of refining and cultivating internal energy. What does that mean to you?
So we are energy beings. We know we have our body. Our body's made up of organs. Our organs are made up of cells. Our cells are made up of atoms. If you open up an atom, it's 99% nothing, but what is there is energy. That's what we are at our root.
At the core.
Yes, at our core, we are energy. And Qigong helps to build and balance that energy. It works at the root level.
So is Qigong more of a physical exercise or a meditation practice?
It's both and neither.
Okay.
So it's physical in that you are moving your body, but it's not physical in that, like, you're not building muscles. You know, that's not the goal. And it's meditative in that Qigong will absolutely help foster a tranquil mind and deepen inner peace. But the focal point is not meditation. It's beyond the body. It's beyond the mind. It's an energy practice.
Okay. And why did you decide to do these 2 4-week introductory classes called Qigong for Women?
Well, I wanted to be of service, and Hospice of Washington County is of such great service to the community.
Thank you.
It's true, and it's so giving, and the best possible way to care for others is to take the best possible care of yourself. And I felt like this would be a really good way for the hospice community and staff to be able to take care of themselves, because they already give so much. So it was to help sort of refill their cup, so to speak, and I thought it would be a good match.
Yeah, and if you don't fill your own cup, you won't have it to give to others either.
Yes,
so.
and actually my Qigong master, he says, don't be the cup, be the spring that's, you know, flowing and go beyond the cup,
right,
so that it's limitless.
So tell us a little bit about your Qigong master and what kind of training you've pursued in order to be able to teach this.
Well, during that class that I took, you know, back 5 years ago at my work, you know, I knew that I wanted to go further and deeper. And so I asked the instructor of that class, you know, what I could do. So I applied to study with Grandmaster Nan Liu and have been training and studying with him for the past 5 years. And one of the beautiful things about Qigong is that you can always go deeper and further into your practice.
Okay, and so do you have other classes that you're planning on teaching at the Life Center, for any Qigong classes or other classes?
Yeah, I teach a couple of different classes, and so I would love to continue coming back to any and all of the CLCs for hospice.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'd love to continue with the women's class, and then I have a few other things I could do as well.
Okay, well, we'll keep you posted, and we'll let the public know when we fill up your schedule.
That would be fantastic.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I'd like to thank Michelle for sharing her interest in and passion for Qigong, not only with Hospice of Washington County staff, but with the community at large. Junyi Lin said, quote, "Practicing Qigong is so simple and so powerful. You can't do it wrong. You can do it better, and you can do it best." If you want to learn more about Qigong, consider contacting Michelle at clogirl9@yahoo.com. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
People, you know, tend to want to do things with people they know and trust and respect. And so we see that that's something that happens again and again, and customers are repeat customers because they have that feeling. And the word of mouth that they share with one another and to their peers is so important in terms of generating additional business from us because they really like the feeling that this is a place you can feel good about.
I'm the hometown favorite.
I'll outsmart you.
I will beat you.
I'll be surrounded by fans cheering me on.
There's no place like home for fighting cancer.
My turf.
My time.
My team.
Expert care, close to home. The John R. Marsh Cancer Center at Meritus Health.
It's here. It's breathtaking. It's ultra fast. Gigabit Internet. Fiber to your home. Fiber to your business. And Tatum Cable, making Hagerstown a gigabit city.
People don't realize it takes a lot to care for a family member in your home. John's dad was very headstrong, so I think that was a lot for him to get over and try to come to terms with that he had terminal illness. I would recommend everybody to get hospice involved at the get-go. When you first learn about it, get it set up, it's going to make it, I mean, it's terrible what you're going through already, but it's going to make it easier for you in the long run because we couldn't have done it without them.
Call Hospice today. Hospice of Washington County, when time matters most.
Welcome back to Healing, Hope, and Health. It's my pleasure to introduce two women who are passionate about the health benefits of essential oils and who have volunteered to lead a program entitled Essential Oils and Wellness at the Boonesboro Community Life Center this February. Melinda Garrett and Kim Farrow's interest in the benefits of essential oil are born out of positive personal experiences. They and their family members credit essential oils with improving their overall physical health and emotional well-being. Welcome, Melinda. Welcome, Kim.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Sure, I'm glad you're here. Can you tell us briefly, maybe both of you, how you became interested in essential oils?
So I'll start by giving you a little background. I'm a registered nurse, and I've worked in the hospital for 10 years. That setting, I've loved being a nurse. I love helping people through a crisis. But as I was working day after day, I saw people in a very powerless state. They were sitting in a gown that was uncomfortable and showing a little too much and everything for our convenience, and they were sitting there waiting for answers and always asking, when's the doctor coming? What are the results of my test? And this state of just feeling so powerless, like someone else had the answers. A friend introduced me to essential oils, and I started to see how they were a key to helping people find answers for themselves. That I could be a part of teaching people how to use essential oils for everyday things that were going on with their health, how to stay in a healthy place. And I found that I was home, and I found other people could feel so empowered, and I really enjoyed that.
That's great.
Absolutely.
How about you?
Well, I really didn't know what essential oils were, and so when someone invited me to a class, I went. And I found out that these oils were 100% plant oils, and I knew I needed to know a little bit more about it. And I started hearing testimonies about how someone's child wasn't sick all through school season, how this health issue was resolved. So I knew this was a lifestyle change that I needed.
That's great. And you both are going to be part of the teaching a program at Boonesboro in February. And I was wondering, what topics are you going to cover?
We're going to cover how to boost your immune system, pain and discomfort, oils for pain and discomfort, digestive and respiratory systems, and oils for caregivers for aging and hospice.
That's great.
We were really excited to offer that to the community that you have. We've had some really powerful experiences, especially with hospice, in a time when people feel very powerless, you know, and the essential oils support the family members around. They support the person going through the process.
So you would see folks benefiting from this who are caring for somebody who's sick in their home?
Absolutely.
Okay,
yes.
that's
Yeah.
great. Do you recommend that people attend all 4 classes, or is it necessary for them to, can they just pick and choose which topics apply to them?
They can absolutely pick whatever topics that they
It's not
appeal
like
to
it's
them.
based on one.
However,
what
we love to do is give people a big picture of essential oils. We're really going to cover, and really I think this is the tip of the iceberg, but we're going to give them a vision of what they can do and help them feel empowered to use them independently. And so as many classes as they can make it to, I think they'll just benefit all the more.
And maybe that kind of leads into the next question. What is your goal? What do you hope people take home from these classes? You want to give that a shot, Melinda?
Sure. We want to empower people, for them to catch the passion that we've caught about essential oils, to gain the knowledge that we've gained through all these classes, and give them this new lifestyle.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add?
Absolutely. Yeah, basically we've been given a gift. We want to give that.
That's great. So this class is going to be held on February 7th, 21st, 28th, and March 7th. How should folks get involved? Contact you or contact hospice?
Well, I understand that if we just have them contact hospice, then we'll go ahead and get a class list together and be proactive about that, because there is some limited seating, and we'll go ahead and get that together.
Great. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I'm grateful to Melinda and Kim for joining us on today's program and for stepping forward to share their knowledge of and passion for essential oils at the Boonesboro Community Life Center beginning this February. If you have an interest in improving your physical and emotional health, please consider registering to attend Essential Oils and Wellness by calling Hospice of Washington County at 301-791-6360, or you can email me at bmwagner@hospiceofwc.org. Hope to see you in February. We'll be back next time. Take care.